The reason why I think environmentalists are mainstream to the debate rather than outsiders, which they like to think they are, is primarily because of a bit of self-doubt which is going on within society generally. So you have the fact that environmental politics is colouring every aspect of the discussion. So you look at anything from the New York Times today through to webcasts, through to every magazine you care to see on the shelves is all about green politics, eco-politics. The point about the environmentalists is that they actually have reached a precipice where they realise that they are becoming a bit dominant in terms of getting their idea across, but nobody's actually buying into it. There's a little bit of a mismatch between people's practices and the message that they're conveying. So even though they are telling us we shouldn't fly, we're flying more. Even though they're telling us we shouldn't drive, people are driving more. So they obviously have this kind of inability to grasp the fact that their message is actually still dominant. Read more of this than most people. I don't really know. I'm sort of happy to believe that it is, right? But it's about 250 on my list of things to do, right? But I mean, ultimately, say it's happening. Is it a problem? Again, it depends on how we see ourselves and our ability to deal with it. If we have this inherent self-loathing, which comes from our incestuous carbon-counting lifestyles that we have now, then we won't have the ambition to deal with it technologically or innovatively. The whole carbon counting, carbon offsetting, carbon debate, indexing and offsetting is about what we do in our own private lives. It's become a behavioural model. So, we shouldn't drive, we should count our carbon calories, we should make a massive discussion on every action that we do as to what impact this is making on the planet. So from it being a discussion of a social nature, where we're looking at maybe industry having to kind of account for itself, or governments, it's become much more the idea that we become empowered in our own everyday actions. Obviously for me, I think it's disempowering. I think it's a slightly parochial, incestuous, internalized level of debate. It avoids us being able to look at the bigger picture when we're all constantly got our heads in our own garbage bins. I'm unhappy with the message because I don't think that the most we can actually expect is to constantly consider our everyday actions. I think that part of the level of increased progress and freedom of individuals is that we are we can move aside from actually pontificating about everyday activities. Otherwise, we're no better than, third world developing countries where they do rag pick because it's survival or if they don't do it, they die. But the way that this discussion is going, it's almost like that becomes celebrated. So the whole notion that we actually fetishize these everyday activities and give them some kind of merit beyond their real status is worrying. Also the fact then that people don't buy into it politically but don't actually carry it out, obviously is similarly a level, symbol of disengagement in politics. So I'm not really saying any of this debate is constructive. It's corrosive. It was a good starting point to be able to come up with technological innovative solutions. So unfortunately everything today is kind of given this kind of precautionary agenda where you preset your goals before you even dare do anything, and if it may be deemed to be unworthy or provoke harm, then you won't do it. I think we need to be a bit more experimental, and once you kind of set that inspirational agenda where experiment and risk-taking are positive things rather than negative, we can start looking to the future with anticipation rather than trepidation.